Buongiorno!
Welcome.
Fiore.
Jonathan O'Malley. All right, guys.
And we are in 2023.
2023, that is correct.
The world is moving.
The world is moving, the world is changing. Today,
we don't want to let you behind, right?
Exactly what he said. Today, the whole point of this podcast, I think today is we want to sort of discuss the world and the ever-changing world that we are in and sort of all the new tools that are becoming available, the changes that we are seeing, and how to use them and what they're about.
Yeah. Well, as you said, the world is changing. We got to look forward.
Yeah.
And we need to catch up. If
Definitely.
not, we will be left behind and then we make no money.
I agree. And that is the worst thing as a real estate agent.
So I saw the world changing. Lately, basically with crypto and with this new virtual reality, AI, ChatGPT, virtual land, Metaverse, everything is changing. And what's the correlation for us as a real estate agent? And what's the correlation in real estate? So everybody's talking about Metaverse, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But you know what actually is the Metaverse? Do you know?
I haven't dabbled too much, but mainly my knowledge is from you. But the Metaverse, I mean, the way I saw it is basically, a computer game. But until people started saying you're buying stuff in there, they're buying land, and explain it a little bit.
Actually, you make a good point. The Metaverse started from the gaming industry.
Right.
The real Metaverse industry started in 2007 and then developed much more in 2017. And now, because of Mark Zuckerberg putting billions into research and into development, is on the mouth of everybody.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of creating the branding to have people following the network effect and then go on his Metaverse.
Yeah.
But this Metaverse started like a decade ago with the gaming. People were buying weapons, soldiers.
Yeah, you could buy
cars,
a skin and all that other stuff.
And was
like
kind
GTA and stuff like that.
It was kind of a sort of a metaverse where real people were interactive in the video games and they were living in this virtual world.
You're upgrading your character in the game.
And
just do that in real life.
Basically it's a parallel, the equivalent of real life in a gaming. So this metaverse evolved, and now they want to bring it into the real life and the day-by-day life of every person. And everybody thinks that the metaverse is just one. The metaverse is not actually just one. There are many virtual world or virtual reality out there.
You're saying different platforms.
Different platforms, exactly. Yeah. And there are many companies that are investing and developing those platforms. And there is a Sandbox, for example, the virtual world of Sandbox. There is Decentraland. There is Nifty Island, Axie Infinity, Pixeling, Star Atlas, Somnium Space. There are many.
Yeah.
And then there is the Metaverse from Mark Zuckerberg, obviously, that is the one that wants to attract the most.
Right.
For real estate, what can we do about it? So it's already a couple years that celebrities or big company, they're investing in virtual land. Virtual land. What is a virtual land? A virtual land is actually a parcel or a pixel in these platforms. Those platforms, they create a world, limited world. So there is a certain amount of parcels.
Space.
So
real
they
world space.
They create scarcity.
Yeah.
They create scarcity. All these companies, they are buying piece of land and developing their houses or their stores, their shops. And there have been, like last year when there was the crypto FOMO, now there's the crypto winter, now many people are not talking about it anymore. But they were investing a lot of money in those parcels and buy virtual land. What is a real virtual? How do you think, what is it?
So, just to give you an outsider's perspective here, do you really think that is so? Here's how I look at it before I sort of go further into it. Do you think I don't think Snoop Dogg or Justin Bieber and all these other people, because I personally don't know anyone that uses it.
Well, we had the example last year of Snoop Dogg building his mansion, replicating his real mansion in the.
No, I know, but that's a one-time thing, right? Like, I don't think they're actually playing the game. Like, do you think it's just because they want to be ahead of the curve, sort of on advertising? It's like, oh, I'm part of the metaverse, or like Do you think they're actually utilizing the game, like playing the game?
I think, to be quite honest, this is sort of, they use it as saying, oh, this is an investment. Could be an investment for them because they're the early adopter, but it's also
It's
another
marketing, though,
platform
for them, right?
to monetize for them.
Yeah.
To monetize in the virtual world, but to monetize also in the real world, marketing themselves as a pioneer of this new.
You're the forefront of
Exactly.
it. Right? Yeah.
And they will actually be the one who benefit the most because probably, I mean, who knows if they invested their own money or resort marketing.
Yeah.
The
Who
company
knows?
actually paid them to build their.
Right.
We don't know about that.
That could also be a thing.
But
That's
for
more
example,
actually
Justin Bieber last year hosted few concerts in the Metaverse.
Yeah.
And they were actually selling virtual
Like you had to
tickets
pay
for the
for it?
avatar. Yeah, the avatar of yourself has to pay to host, to assist the
Well,
the
then
concert.
it becomes worth it, right?
Yeah.
Like if I was Justin Bieber, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah.
If I can do a concert in my living room,
I mean,
on the Metaverse.
this is a real things happening. So
Yeah.
in the Metaverse is actually like the real world. You buy the land, the parcel. This land will be transferred in a sort of in an NFT. Your parcel. I mean, when you say, okay, I bought a virtual land, so where is it? Where do you put it?
Yeah.
It's an NFT.
Do you get a certificate or anything?
Yeah, so it's an NFT, non-fungible token. So the way you buy real land in the real world, they transfer you a deed, paper deed. In the virtual world, they give you an NFT, non-fungible token of your virtual land. And then you store it in your crypto wallet. So in your crypto wallet, you will have the crypto wallet where you store the tokens and where you store the NFT. And so your virtual land will be a deed NFT. So all the deed you have in the real world, in the virtual world, instead there are many NFT that you store in your crypto wallet. So there are pros and cons, and we will talk about this a bit later. But to keep explaining you guys what is really about, there are these people that they buy land, they hire real architects to create their home.
That I actually like, though. That I like, because that you're paying, that at least is something of value. Otherwise, it's not just some guy that made it up overnight. Like it's not like the NFTs or some guy made a fucking emoji or something like that. Where it's this I like. If they're bringing in real professionals and adding real value,
they hire a real architect, and then the real architect, when the project is done, they hire a real developer of the Web 3.0, where they actually build.
They can do it.
Dimension.
Yeah.
And how can we profit in this virtual world? I mean, obviously, there is the trade, so the transaction of buying the virtual land. You can profit, meaning if the worth of this virtual land will go higher, you will make money when you sell it. If you go lower, you will lose money.
So that's like in the real world.
Yeah. Right? On top of that, you can actually rent those mansions that you are building, not only selling them. Like, for example, there is... If you enter for example, in the Decentraland world, there is Sotheby's that has their own gallery. There is Justin Bieber that rent the arena where he hosts the concert, and then he sell tickets to other avatars. Like, there is a real...
Is that because, like, there's traffic? Is there foot traffic? So let's say I bought a house in there, right? Let's say I bought a house in there that was on a popular street, and I wanted to be, I guess, okay, if I was renting it, you own a property on there, like a popular one, and it has a lot of foot traffic.
I'm renting it for you to expose your own NFT collection or your...
So if there's enough foot traffic coming by this popular home that you have, because it's really cool, it's sick, it stands out, I rent it to promote my own stuff.
It's actually like the real world. You can rent it out. So it's actually a cash generative asset as real estate. The same value as the real estate in the real world will have in the virtual world, because you can generate rent, cash flow income. So it's as an intrinsic value. And then you can sell it for profit or for loss in terms of how do you evaluate the profit or loss if your investment is good or not? There are pros and cons. The pros is that it's like the real estate. The cons is that those metaverse, the problem is that there are many platforms.
Right. Yeah.
So gotta be a network effect in order to have those parcels be worth something. Yeah. Because if today everybody goes on Sandbox or on Decentraland, then you go, I want to go because there is you. Someone else want to go because there is me. So it's the network effect. And this network effect is what creates the worth of this platform, like Instagram. If everybody move on from Instagram, then your post is worth nothing and your Instagram ads is, it's not valuable. It's the same thing. So the cons, what is it? That now we are so much in the early stages that, yes, you will be an early adopter. You could be the pioneer and make the most money. But in few years, let's say one platform will be more popular than another one,
Or
and
a new one
everybody,
pops up.
yeah, migrates from one to the other one. Yes, you will be. You were the first one,
Yeah,
but
see,
basically your parcel will be worth nothing.
And that to me is the issue, right? Because look at this. So if you buy a house in New York, so New York is a popular city. The real estate market here is fantastic. So if you buy here, you know, and New York took a while to build and took a while to create what we have here, right? It's not a popularity concept. Whereas, so if you have a property here, you know, you're likely, even if you lose money, you're not going to lose a ton, right? Your property would always be valuable since it's in New York City. But if you're in the metaverse,
because we have an historic also data
exactly,
that show that New York is resilient. Yeah.
So that's what I mean. So if you're in the metaverse and you bought a platform that's popular now, then let's say all the celebrities came together and created a new one that's way more popular next year, then you're fucked. Because you can't make a city overnight here, right? But you can in the metaverse. You can create a new city that's all based on hype and popularity. So that to me is scary.
And this is the risk on every kind of new investment. When you invest in a new company, a new app, a new world, a new metaverse, new everything, like even new cars. You know, I mean, this is an example. When the car automotive business started, there were over 3,000 companies. And you know how many survived? 3. General Motors, Ford, and Toyota, I think.
Okay. Fuck.
And now, for example, Tesla is the new pioneer for electric vehicle. But now, then the electric vehicle is adopted, where there is Rivian, there is Lucid, and who knows who will be. So every time you invest in something new, there is this high risk and high reward.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You just gotta be doing your due diligence and really take your risk if you think it's worth your money.
It's just so early stages.
And this is not
the
only risk.
Too early stages for this, for me at least.
Yeah, and this is not the only risk. The other risk is that since it's a virtual world, there are hackers. If you lose your wallet, if you lose your seed phrase, you lose all your worth in crypto. So you need to know how to store it.
Is there attorneys involved in this? Like if I'm buying something for who is involved to protect me in terms of, do I get a real estate agent that knows what they're doing within the metaverse so I don't have to do all this stuff?
Right now, I think it's the Wild West, meaning there are no attorneys because it's the NFT world. So basically, all your transaction, all your net worth in virtual world is locked in your crypto wallet.
So it's just NFT. A purchase. I link my wallet, I buy it, boom.
Yeah. The good part is the NFT, non-fungible token, is one only. And this code of your purchase is always on the blockchain and will always be there. The problem is that if you lose it, you lost it forever.
You lost it.
And if they hack you forever.
Yeah. So, and it's not backed by any, what about insurance? Is there anything like that? Yeah, that's fucked.
the good, how can we work with this and how can we facilitate this? We are not really a real estate broker for virtual land because we actually don't have a license for that. Yeah. But if we are an expert in the real estate, in the virtual world, we can facilitate the transaction for new retailer that they want to come and buy or rebuy or resell or rent. So our work could be specialized in that, and you can offer to your client a portfolio also of virtual land, virtual real estate.
Yeah, and especially if it's a business, like if it's a restaurant or something like that, you can also say, with this, we're adding you in. Because Sirhan, we're active on there. Ryan has built the whole thing.
Sirhan actually built the Universe Metaverse, which is called Universe.
Do we have a link somewhere that we can share with these guys?
We will share the link. It's called Universe, where all the agents can interact. We can have meetings. And
that I like. That's useful to me. Like the meetings and all that other stuff. That's useful.
This is another part of the metaverse. It's not only about the real estate, land, but so right now what do? You actually have a Zoom meeting, a Zoom call, or you scroll on Instagram on a screen, on a 2D screen. Yeah. What they want to do, they want to create this, like you can go on a meeting and actually interact with many avatars.
Yeah, you can sit here like you and me are sitting
actually,
here now.
Instead of looking at the screen and see 10 little cubic pictures, you can actually speak and interact with almost real people.
I think
and
that will be
moving.
Huge. Yeah, I agree. I think that will be huge. I don't know with the living in Metaverse, but I think that whole thing will be huge.
Another things I want to add, just to give you a bit more of a knowledge process on how to buy virtual land.
Yeah.
how can you buy? You cannot buy with US dollar.
Right. It
You
needs
need to
be
buy
crypto,
with
right?
cryptocurrency. So each of these space, they have their own token, meaning their own coin. So for example, Decentraland has the token called Mana. Sandbox has the token called Sand.
So do you have to buy
So,
the
yeah.
coin and then buy?
Yeah, and then with the coin, you can buy the parcel, like the virtual land. You can buy you actually buy the supply, like the piece of wood, the piece of concrete that.
They made it fun. I'll give them
So
that.
you can also, I mean, these will open up so many worlds. They predict that there will be so much job opening for the virtual world, just for this real estate virtual world. Because you need to have an architect, okay, that's already existing, but then you need to have a web developer to develop the project. Then you need to have an actual contractor that buy the materials for you. Like, it's really, you will be really a developer. There are already developers. They were developer of games, but now they're developer of real estate.
But overall, though, it's not like, because it's not useful. Let's be honest. It's not like I can go in there and sleep, right? So overall, the concept and idea of it, at least what I'm gathering, is that it's mainly marketing. Like, it's if you have a sick house in there, you're promoting yourself. If you have a super cool house in there, it's just promoting, because you can't actually use it.
But because now you're thinking with a business mind, which I appreciate, but there are many people out there that they actually create their avatar and they just want to hang around. There are many people that
I can't get my mind
right now. There are many people that are not really social in real life, and they kind of hide and have a huge social life in the.
I guess there's a lot more tech people now than there were back.
But this is the first step. But then will be also for everybody. Like, there are people that go there and hang out and just watch the Justin Bieber comfortable at home on a couch with.
I didn't think of it like that, but you're right. It's because we live in New York, where everyone we know is social.
Everything is accessible.
Everything is social, accessible. You were so right. Because if you go in Texas, Michigan, or somewhere like that, it's like.
Now imagine, if you are in a place where there is not so much going on.
I didn't think of it like that.
You would not fly to New York to watch
No, you're doing it on your couch.
You do it on your couch.
Yeah, I didn't think of it like that. That's
so
true,
actually,
though. That makes sense. I would probably do the same thing.
So actually, the real bet now is believe in which platform will be the most, the one with the most users, because will be the one. I mean, there are.
It has to be Meta. It has to be Facebook, Instagram.
It's not launched yet, but
it's not.
I mean, the Metaverse from Meta is still building.
Oh, I think
they changed the name from Facebook to Meta, because they want already put in people's head that that will be the core business of the company, and they are spending billions and billions. They
wouldn't be doing that.
It's so funny because in those virtual city, there are actually also neighbor. Like, there is the center, there is and they all have different words. It's like the real world. It's unbelievable.
We got to do it.
But this is just one of the innovation. Like, there is. Like, have you heard? I mean, I'm using it, but ChatGPT, for example.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I'm using it.
You're using it, right?
I'm using it daily almost now. This one is. What's your thoughts on that? Overall, what was your first thought? Let's start with what was your first thought?
When I first look at it and try it, I say, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there are things that I was literally taking an hour to write.
Yeah.
And in 10 seconds, it's done.
Yeah.
And it's so accurate. It
is.
And the more we will move forward, because, the way they do it, they scrape the entire internet.
Everything.
And it's a percentage of combination of words. And the more we move on, the more will be updated, and the more will be accurate.
Yeah.
And this could be scary, because some people say that many people will lose their job.
I think they will, 100%.
And even real estate brokers, they say, they might lose their job. Like, people, middlemen, they will lose their job. I don't think so, because the human factor is still.
Yeah. And that's I mean, with sales things, I think is unique, right? Because it's in person and it comes to network. And in real estate, there's a lot of different factors involved, right? Like, on a higher level, we need to be able, like, they wouldn't connect with an AI. What we do is basically network based, and it's knowing the right people at the right time.
You know what's happening also in many companies, because many companies, they are using this AI business as a default. Now,
what do you mean?
I predict that soon will be like, I don't know, Salesforce, not AI response. Like, now there is organic on food.
It'll be not AI for sure.
Will be not AI, because people will want and will crave for a human response
Human
and not a
response.
chatbot.
Yeah.
Because now we are going into moving from
But the
human
question
brains
is-
to robot,
Yeah.
and soon will be not robot generated, no AI.
Yeah.
You will see.
The question
This
is,
is my bet.
I think so too. I mean, it's crazy, but I looked into it a little bit, and then after I started using it for like an hour, then I was like, okay, fuck, let me look up what all this AI stuff is. And then I went in down this rabbit hole of like looking at Elon Musk's and all these other people, scaring the shit out of me with like what AI is gonna do and how we're not prepared and how it's not regulated. I guess it's not regulated. Like you don't really control. They can't really control what it's doing, and it's open to the public. So what happens if it's like, you know,
I mean,
what,
this
you
is
guys
really
are,
cool, but it's really scary because it can go out of hands very quickly.
Yes.
And it can be.
if it's thinking on
I mean,
its own.
now we enter into politics and stuff, and we don't want to do that.
No, we don't.
But-
yeah.
but
Or passive.
could be could be really useful if handled correctly, like in everything in life,
Yeah.
but could be really even dangerous.
Scary,
I mean,
dangerous. I think it's one of those things it's like when phones came, right? And social media and everything else. In the start, some people were very hesitant, but it's one of those things you have to adapt or get left behind.
mhm.
And I think this chat thing and AI in general, it's a tool it's unavoidable. Like if you want to compete, let's say you're going into a pitch or whatever it may be in your day to day, and you have that kind of tool in your pocket,
Mhm.
and I don't,
You will
I
be
will no
10x
longer be able to
faster.
compete.
Yeah,
You know, so
and
it's
more
one of-
accurate. But
Exactly. So how I'm seeing the positive side of this is that everyone who's already functioning on a high level and who can, I mean, I guess the elite of the world, right? But like everyone who's a somewhat high earner and functioning on a high level already,
Mhm.
once they add this to their tool belt, it will bring us all up to a whole different level of
Standard.
standards.
yeah,
It will elevate everything. But the gap from these guys, which us, to the other guys is going to be ginormous.
yeah.
You know, so that gap is going to be crazy.
So that's why we always need to be updated and keep studying
Yep.
and be.
Yeah.
But I disagree on one point. They say, "Oh, many people will lose their job." Yeah, many jobs will disappear, but
Yeah.
many others will be
They'll
created.
pop up.
Because remember that behind a technology, there is always the technology developer,
For sure.
the,
Yeah, yeah.
the
It's just a new form of
the
job.
security. It's just maybe many jobs will be switched from this kind of job to the technology side.
Yeah. But that's
And-
going to be a hard transition.
And also, all the new generation is basically living on
That's true.
technology.
That's true.
So maybe will not be us, but will be
Yeah,
two
yeah.
generation after us.
Yeah.
And, so I'm not really afraid of unemployment rates
I don't think
happening
so
because
either.
of that, because the job will just change.
Yeah, I think it's probably the more. I mean, the next generation is probably fine. I think that it's the immediate ones that is like when this is coming out, you'll lose your job. Let's say like a 45-year-old person or a 50-year-old person who is, you know, I mean, I don't know. Let's say working as a cashier lady,
Mhm.
right? We already have those self-checkout things.
Mhm.
And then once we advance more and more, those will be completely obsolete, right? And people like that don't really have a second option. Eventually, they'll get old enough, and that's that, and it's just up to the new generation. But I think it's that group of people that is going to be heard of this, like copywriting. Dude, I was writing a description, like a description
Oh, yeah. 1
for
second is
for an
done.
apartment the other day, and boom, right? And I can even write in there, be a little witty, you know, say
Yeah.
this, and that, and just.
Yeah, but yeah.
But
I
it's a
mean,
tool, right?
I think this is very cool, and
I think so too. I'm all for it.
we are knowledgeable enough to keep up with it.
But here's the thing, like so Elon Musk is making that. Do you see that robot he's making? He's making a household robot. They already announced it.
Uh-huh.
It's real. And I think he said like it's gonna cost $30,000. I don't want to give you guys a time, but he already launched it. He did the whole like, you know, Steve Jobs, like this is the new
Yeah,
innovation.
the speech and the
Yeah.
presentation.
He did that, but bro, once you can put the AI into that thing, that's when I'm scared.
Well, the chips. Yeah, there are a lot of things that.
Because now it's a robot that has this kind of knowledge that's everywhere and can actually move and react on his thoughts.
Well, just a few days ago, I went to Louis Vuitton store, and there was the Yayoi Kusama robot painting, and
Really?
everybody thought she was there because they put the
Oh.
and she was moving, looking at you. They actually interact like real humans.
What?
57 and Fifth Avenue, yeah,
Oh,
on the window. Yeah, it's still there. But and to give you the last things in terms of investment, real estate, whoever invested in virtual land and in those sandbox, Decentraland, Mana, a year ago, when crypto was at the all-time high, they didn't lose, because if you don't sell, you don't lose, but they lost like probably 10x.
Yeah. Right.
Why? Because of seasonality, because of the crypto winter. I don't believe because of the project.
What's the
because
crypto winter?
Crypto winter meaning bear market.
Okay, gotcha.
In the stock market, you call bear market. In the crypto, you call winter?
All
And summer.
right.
Yeah, because it's cold.
Yeah, I like that.
And then nobody spends money. Everybody keep their hands here
yeah.
before they were all. But yeah, I mean, this investment went down, I think 11x was 11x higher before, like literally 9 months ago. Yeah. But this is because of the overall market. And now everybody's afraid, all the things we said before.
Yeah.
But again, as a real estate broker, as a real estate agent, giving you a real estate advice, there is an opportunity out there on the space where you can actually build your home, actually buy your land, build your home on top, resell it, or either rent it out. And many users, because the secret is always to don't have all one eggs in one basket.
Of course.
Maybe buy few parcel in one virtual world, few parcel in another, or few in another one. So you bet on the virtual world, and then the winner will definitely offset the losses from the other. Yeah. Or you invest on an ETF, on a Metaverse ETF, where there is it's like a basket of all of them, and then you call it a day.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to be too specific, you just buy an ETF of Metaverse and...
So question, if all these other ones, they're already out, all these different ones, but the biggest one yet is not out, Meta.
No.
So once that comes out, these are fucked.
It takes time.
Right?
It takes billions of dollars.
Okay.
And time. Yeah. The other one, they are already born because they started from a gaming industry and they just developed.
Okay, so it's not like they're bad ones, they're good.
Was a game. And all those gamers, they all gather together and they create their own metaverse. Axie Infinity. Star Atlas is a game. It's a game of like Star Wars. So that's why they are... I mean, Sandbox is actually a brand new one.
Okay.
And it's probably the most popular now with Decentraland.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to see... First of all, if this adoption will be a mass adoption.
Yeah.
And which one will be the winner.
Which one will be the winner? You
remember when Facebook started, it was only Facebook, then there is Instagram.
Facebook was
right.
Instagram. Yeah.
And now there is Twitter. And
there's always
TikTok.
Yeah, you're right.
It's the same concept, different platform, different network effect. The challenge, what will be? The challenge is that if you create your own avatar and you can play, let's say, on Decentraland, then you want to play also on Roblox, you want to play also on Metaverse, you want to play also on Sandbox. This is the real challenge. Having all those platform connected all together, and you can fly from one
guy
with the same avatar.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, but this is what they didn't figure out yet. Because, for example, the avatar of Roblox is like a Lego figure,
it's hard,
and cannot go on the Sandbox because it's they have to figure out. If they could figure out that, then I see a bright future.
I'm kind of sold, because now you can go everywhere, right? And they're all available. Because it would suck to have to set up a new avatar for each thing.
Yeah, and
then the whole building your character doesn't really make sense.
It's what Facebook did with Instagram. They bought it out and now they're connected.
Because then it's like real life, and now it starts making sense. Because if I can build up my avatar on all platforms and all the metaverses, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I can buy my own spaceship.
Yeah.
Fly around.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed and find this video helpful for you.
Yes, and we'll probably discuss more in the future, and maybe we'll even do a podcast.
And maybe the next podcast we do with the with the goggles.
That could be cool.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Emanuele Fiore.
Jonathan Normali. Have a good one.
Ciao.